Aloha. There was a post on the Empyrion subreddit recently regarding a service engineer simulator. I read it and thought that this is a really cool idea. It would be a lot of fun to go to a junk CV and fix it up and bring it back to base. And then I read Vermilion's comments, I got sad inside, and I went to sleep. The next day, I thought to myself, I've been learning about scenario creation using Ravien's custom scenario and Spanj's POI test. This idea is really cool. Why don't I just try it out, see what happens? Now, I'm no expert. There are a lot of people on the forums and in the various discords that know a lot more than I do, and I defer to the experts here. But I'm curious, how much of this is possible? I wouldn't mind setting up a simple proof of concept just to learn what's possible, what's not. Plus, it'll be fun if we can get something close to this idea working. I already have a test scenario set up for my blueprint conversions, so I added on this quest. I started out by using the eWSSC tool to create another system outside of my home system. I borrowed the space asteroid playfield from the vanilla game, and I cleared everything out except the asteroids. And then I added in 15 of my converted junk CVs to this junkyard a few light years away. I also created a simple space base with a teleporter. One copy would be in the orbit of my home planet, and another in the junkyard. Figuring out the teleporter was a challenge, but I was able to get it working by copying the teleporter off of another POI and configuring the destination. I updated the YAML files for the home planet and the junkyard with those new bases and CVs. I did a test just to make sure my game didn't crash and everything spawned right. Now that the objects were spawned, the next step was to create the quest line. For that, I used another tool by RexXxuS called eWPDA. I broke up the quest line into 3 parts: retrieve, repair, and return. The hard part here was trying to figure out how to check that each task was complete. It looks like we're limited by what we can check. For this quest, I used 3 different checks: near POI, playfield entered, and blocks placed. This took me a while to figure out what to pick for each step. So let's watch a test run of this. I start a new game, and then I pick the custom side quest. I activate the mission, and it gives me a summary. Just to save time, I activate God mode, I go into orbit, and I go to the teleport station. Once I get close to the teleport station, the first step is complete, and now I have to teleport to the junkyard. Right now, this is configured as a one-way trip. I can configure it as a two-way trip, or add some kind of reminder for the player to bring what they need. The junkyard is currently set to restrict spawning any blueprint, so the player has to scavenge for parts to fix up a CV to make it back home. We arrive at the junkyard. Once we leave the teleport station, we can see that there are 15 CVs nearby, some resources, and an alien base. We have a quest marker to go to the first CV. Once we're there, we have to place a core and fix up the ship so we can get back. We get a message after we place the core. Not every ship is the same, so some ships may need more parts than others. We at least need a warp drive on the ship, some CPU extenders, and some pentaxa to get home. Once we have those parts installed, we set course to return to our home system. Once we enter the orbit of the home planet, the next step of the quest is triggered, and our final step is to go back to the teleport station. Once we are near the teleport station, the quest is complete and the reward is given. The quest is repeatable, so I can go back a second time and get a second ship. And we can bring back a third ship. We can set the amount of times that we can repeat the quest, and we can regenerate the ships. Okay, so we have a proof of concept, but there are some caveats. Just like what was said in the comments, the game doesn't know how to identify a ship or if the ship has been repaired. So a player could hack the quest by flying back in any ship. I suppose you could lower the motivation to hack it by minimizing the quest rewards. There's also the risk of the player teleporting and not having enough supplies to survive or make it back, which I guess you could also offset by making sure there are plenty of opportunities and resources. I didn't even add any hostile entities to my test playfield, and that may make it even more of an exciting adventure. Speaking for myself, I think it would be fun to just do the quest as is and play along. You could collect an armada of ships or sell them to a player faction like they did over on Spanj's server with the Scavenger Alliance. You could also have many custom playfields with different ship types, like one for SVs. You could have a portal hub and go to distant locations or a custom instance. If you like this idea, check out what Ravien did in Reforged Eden, where you buy core unlocks for vessels in a shipyard. Or check out Star Salvage, where Know-It-All DM has entire planets with junk CVs. To summarize, I think the Service Engineer Simulator is a great idea with a lot of potential to be a fun quest, if you can work within the limitations of the PDA and the dialogue system and the YAML files. Share your thoughts in the comments below, or better yet, in the modifications channel on the official Empyrion Discord. Thank you so much for joining me today. I look forward to talking to you again soon. Have a great day.